Today, you didn't really do anything. Maybe you stayed at home. Maybe you barely left your bed, and yet you feel tired. Not the kind of tiredness you feel in your muscles, not the kind that disappears after a good night's sleep. It feels deeper than that. Quieter, heavier, almost like you've been carrying something all day, but you don't know what it is. And at some point, you probably asked yourself, what did I even do to feel this exhausted? This question is very common, and for many people it quickly turns into self-blame. Maybe I'm lazy, maybe I'm wasting my life. Everyone else is moving forward, and I'm not. But what if the problem isn't you? What if this tiredness has nothing to do with doing nothing? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Why you can feel exhausted even when you haven't done much at all, from a scientific perspective, from an emotional and spiritual perspective, and through a real human story. And let me say this clearly from the beginning. You are not alone in feeling this way, but no, not everyone feels this. The science behind this tiredness. Here's something most people don't realize. The human brain doesn't get tired mainly from movement, it gets tired from uncertainty. If your mind is constantly thinking about the future, planning next steps, imagining possible problems, asking, what if this doesn't work? Your brain interprets this as potential danger, and your body automatically switches into survival mode, fight or flight. In this mode, your muscles don't fully relax, your breathing stays shallow, your nervous system never truly shuts down. So even if you're sitting on the couch, your body is still on standby. The problem is this system was designed for short-term stress, not for days, not for weeks, not for months. When the mind never turns off, the body eventually gets tired. And this kind of tiredness doesn't come with sweat, doesn't come with physical pain, doesn't disappear after sleeping. It's quiet, it's deep, and it's very real. Now, here's a very important distinction. This kind of tiredness doesn't happen to everyone. Some people live day by day, focus mostly on the present, don't carry long-term mental weight, and they can truly rest. But others are different. Some people carry the future with them. They live tomorrow before it arrives. They solve problems that haven't happened yet. They hold responsibilities long before they're required. These people are often planners, thinkers, people who are aware of their potential, but there's a cost. Even while resting, there's a quiet thought running in the background. I'm resting now, but I should be doing more. This thought seems harmless, but it never allows the mind to close. That's why some people wake up tired, feel drained on empty days, can't relax even when they stop. This is not weakness, it's high awareness, and high awareness without boundaries is exhausting. Let me tell you a real story. Emma was a psychologist working in academia. She liked her job. From the outside, her life looked calm, but something strange started happening. She would wake up in the morning, no urgent tasks, no heavy workload, and yet getting out of bed felt difficult. Making breakfast felt heavy. Even checking her phone felt draining. The strangest part was this: Emma wasn't doing much, but inside she felt completely exhausted. For a long time, she couldn't explain why. Until she realized something important. For years, she had been strong. For years, she had postponed her feelings. For years, she kept saying, not now. Her inner world was always waiting, and when the soul waits too long, it gets tired. Later, Emma described it like this: I wasn't tired, I was carrying something, and I didn't know what it was. That single sentence explains a lot. The human inner world has its own rhythm. It's slow. It's deep, it needs meaning. Modern life, on the other hand, demands speed, results, constant performance. When these two rhythms collide for too long, something has to give. And sometimes the way the system protects itself is by slowing you down. Tiredness is not always a malfunction. Sometimes it's a warning, a quiet way of saying, if you continue like this, you'll lose yourself. That's why some kinds of exhaustion don't disappear with motivation, don't improve by working harder, because the problem isn't a lack of energy. It's the weight you've been carrying. I want you to hear this clearly. This tiredness is not your enemy. It's a part of you asking for something different. And the solution is not pushing harder. The solution starts with 3 small but real shifts. First, rest your nervous system, not your thoughts. Most people try to rest by stopping their thoughts, but thoughts don't stop on command. Instead, focus on your body. Once a day for just 10 minutes, do nothing with a goal. No content, no problem solving. Slow your breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 6. This tells your brain something important. I am safe right now. And safety is what true rest begins with. Second, stop letting the future occupy your entire day. You don't need to stop planning. Planning is part of who you are. But don't let the future live in every moment. Give it a place. Tell yourself, I'll think about the future for 30 minutes today, and that's enough. When thoughts show up outside that time, don't fight them. Just remind yourself, I'll come back to you later. This doesn't silence the mind, but it softens it. And softness is what reduces exhaustion. Third, take your inner world out of the waiting room. Ask yourself this honestly. What is my inner self waiting for? A decision, a conversation, a beginning, an ending? Everything doesn't need to be solved today, but one small movement matters because the inner world doesn't get tired from effort. It gets tired from waiting without movement. Even a small step, a message, a sentence written down, an honest admission can bring relief. Feeling tired doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've been holding yourself together for a long time. And sometimes healing is not about becoming stronger. It's about finally allowing yourself to let go. If this video helped you feel a little less alone, you can support this space by staying with us. You can subscribe or simply come back when you need a moment like this. We'll be here.